Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kyra and today we are doing my signature. We can say this is my signature look. If you guys want to see how I created this look, keep on watching. Okay, let's just get straight in. We're gonna start with skin prep. I've already prepped my face with moisturizer and a facial oil. The facial oil that I use, you can only see it, but I use the Guidance to Glow facial oil from the esthetician that I go to. Now I'm gonna go with my Danessa Yummy Skin Glow Serum. Not only is it just great as a primer, but it really gives a nice healthy glow to the skin, which is very important to me. Side note, I am using a few Danessa products because her products are just so good. And I feel like if you know, you know, but she just doesn't get the hype that she deserves, you know? So first, starting with this, and I like to let it sit on the skin for a little bit just so it can get properly absorbed. And I'm going to go in with a second primer. It's also from, I'm going to use a Danessa Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum. And I like to focus this just in my T-zone area. Now, honestly, if you want the same effect, something that I also like to do is just take a little bit of translucent powder and put it right in my T-zone area. Because like I said, this is an area that I tend to get really shiny. You can definitely skip this step if you're not as oily as me, or if you just want to use a powder, because that works. Now that that's sitting into the skin, we're gonna go in with our brows. So as you guys can see, my hair is brown. So I like to match my brows with my hair as much as possible, but I don't want them to be too brown. My eyebrows are also dyed, but it's a mix between my natural color and the dye, but I still do use a auburn eyebrow gel. So this is the Kosas Airbrow in the shade Auburn. I just like using a gel to add the color and a little bit of fullness and to keep them in place. Next, we're gonna color correct. I don't do this often because honestly, I can be a little, I like to do my makeup like this, you know, and so I don't always spend a lot of time doing this. This is the Faux Filter Corrector in the shade Lychee. It's like a peachy orange shade, not too orange. I like to mix in my concealer just a little bit to kind of balance it out, so that it makes it easier for me in the whole blending process. I like this color corrector specifically because with a lot of them, they're so pigmented that they tend to bleed into your foundation and other products, but I noticed with this one, it doesn't do that. So that is why I really like this one, and I like adding the concealer because it just makes the job so much easier and faster. Like, I already look better and I only put on the corrector. And I'm also just going to get some of these little spots on my forehead where I've kind of picked at my skin. I fear I'm going to use my Danessa again. Danessa Yummy Skin Serum. This stuff, I don't know what is in here. I don't know why this is so good, especially because it is a skin tint, you know? I don't know. Something about it. It is one of my favorite skin tints. I'm gonna buff it in with a foundation brush, making sure that it really gets into the skin. I want the face to be snatched, so I'm going to go in with some bronzer. This is the Saie Dewy Dew Bronze. I absolutely love this stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, I pretty much use this in all of my makeup tutorials. And because I also kind of have a little bit of a forehead, this is the placement that I like on my face to kind of bring her in, to snatch those up too. And that motion is just me kind of angling my bronzer downward, not too exaggerated because we don't want to bring the face down, but we just want it to be a little more snatched. So like that. And you'll see when we blend it out how it'll look. So a very forgiving product, which is nice because I feel like if you're using a product that is maybe a little bit more intense or a little too, that's not as creamy and dewy as this, things can get carried away right fast. But this is very dewy, and so you can kind of play around with it and it won't be spooky or scary. I got a whole bunch of brushes from Morphe recently, and I'm using all the brushes if you're wondering, because all of my brushes are dirty. So if you're wondering what brushes I'm using, it's their new brush collection. And I also do want to say, I am somebody, despite the fact that I have texture and I have like scarring and stuff like that, it doesn't necessarily bother me, especially on an everyday basis. So I don't mind the fact that you can see my skin when I'm wearing makeup. There was a period where I had a lot more texture than I do now, and so I had to learn to get comfortable with wearing makeup and just showing my face in that state. So even though I still have texture now, I've already like it's going away, but like I don't mind the fact that you can see my texture under my makeup. Like it just, it's my skin, it is what it is, you know? When it comes to blending this, I like to flip my brush upside down and just kind of blend in that downward motion, like I said. Obviously, it looks a little bit more intense right now, but like I said, it's very forgiving, so we can always go back and fix it with our foundation brush and it'll be perfectly fine. But it just kind of brings my face in a little bit more, which I really like and prefer. Now for concealer, I'm gonna go in with my another favorite. This is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Concealer, and I like to focus this concealer really close to my nose, like this, and then bring it out to kind of, again, bring it up, snatch the face. That, place it there, a little bit on the forehead, a little bit on the nose. I like to do this before I blend out the concealer. Focus by patting the concealer and spreading it out. And I'm gonna bring it down slightly, but not too much, because I just don't want my concealer to fall too low on my face. I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer because I like to bring a little bit of warmth to my nose. I don't necessarily contour my nose, but I just saw this hack from Jackie Aina years ago and it has never left me. But essentially I just take a little bit of my bronzer on a little fluffy brush like this and blend it into my brow bone, a little bit down the sides of the nose. That's pretty much all that I will really do as far as that goes. Now to blend out the rest, I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush and buff out that concealer because we don't want any sort of harsh lines. We just want everything to look as seamless as possible. And I'm gonna clean up that bronzer a little bit. Next, we are going to go in with blush, another Danessa Myricks product. Yeah, this is Primadonna. This is Primadonna from Danessa Myricks. And I was going to do like a orangey peachy blush today, but I'm kind of feeling the pink vibe. So I think we're gonna do her. Recently, I've been changing my blush placement a little bit and focusing it a little bit more. You kind of just gonna have to see because I was watching a tutorial and so I recently just like learned how to do this placement on myself. But essentially I'm kind of putting it closer towards under my eye. I like how it looks when it's kind of under my eye, like right there. It's like right here, like I don't know how to describe, like right here, like not here, but right here. With a light hand because this product is pretty pigmented, so I don't want to use too much, like right there. It'll look better when I put powder on. Now to set the under eye, very important, especially if you're somebody like me who has lines under the eyes. So I like to look up, blend out any creases that I might have, and then take a powder puff. And with my powder, this is the One Size translucent powder. Get a real thick layer of that powder on the puff. And the key step, okay? The key step is to take your hand and really blend that powder into the puff so that it will just look a lot more seamless. And you don't want like powder lumps, you know, because then it'll just make it look really dry and wrinkly and crazy, and you don't want that. I puff and go straight in with the powder. Then I usually just like to go over all of the other areas that I've applied concealer. So the rest of the face, I'm going to use my Sephora Microsmooth powder and apply this everywhere I didn't put the translucent powder. This powder's literally on its last leg. I don't even know if they still sell this. I feel like at one point they were discontinuing it and then they brought it back, but like the shades weren't the same. So I need to get on that because like another alternative to this is the Maybelline Fit Me. That's also one of my favorite powders as well. To go in with bronzer, this one is from Juvia's Place. Focusing this again where we applied our cream. Like, I love bronzer on my forehead. I don't know, I cannot describe, but I just love it. Jawline, chin a little bit. I started cleaning up my brows. Now we're gonna go to the eyes. So I love a good brown eye. We know this. This is like my thing. Hold on. Where's the thing? I have another one. This is the Fenty eyeshadow stick. I like a good eyeshadow stick or like a liquid eyeshadow because it's just really easy to do. So I'm gonna start with my Fenty eyeshadow stick, and I'm just going to literally draw this on my eye. Now I'm just gonna use a fluffy brush. What's nice about these is that they blend out really easily, so you don't need a whole lot of tools to do this. And you can honestly probably just like use your finger, but my nails are a little too long for that. So I like to start buffing it in circular motions, not bringing it out too much, but just to kind of diffuse it and to where it kind of looks like that. And you can even bring it back into that brow bone like how we did earlier. Wipe off this powder. I'm gonna spray the face again just to kind of melt those powders more into the face. You know, we don't want to look too powdery. So I'm gonna go in with my MAC Fix Plus very carefully. And you really want to spray this away from the face because the water droplets on this are quite big and you don't want any little droplets all over your face. So get arm's length. Should be a good enough distance. Like literally that, like I can literally feel the droplets. I'm gonna go in with my Give. This is the Gwen Stefani brand at Sephora. TBH, I don't know if they still sell this. If they do, last time I saw it, they were on sale, and I would suggest you snag it up because these blushes are honestly really good and nobody talks about them, and I don't know why. This is in the shade Lasting Love, and I'm going to lightly, because this is kind of pigmented, apply the blush where I applied the cream blush. Really just kind of brush it on there. I just applied lashes and mascara. Now we're gonna go to lips. So for lips, I'm very excited about this. To start with my favorite, this is ColourPop BFF3. I literally just ordered like 3 of these because they're never in the stores anymore. So I had to re-up on them and they're like $6. To go in with Limitless Brown from Make It Forever and just add a little bit more dimension. To go in with Teddy 2.0 from MAC. This is one of my favorite new lipsticks. You can leave it like this if you're a matte lip girl, but I'm a gloss girl. So I'm first going to go in with my Glossier bronze gloss, and I like to use my brown lip glosses kind of as a lip liner topper. So I focus this where I put my lip liner. This also just kind of helps blend it in as well. Buxom White Russian in the center. And this just gives me like that perfect ombre lip combo. Something similar to this gloss that I also really love is Creme Brulee from NYX. That is another one of my favorites. We're gonna spray one last time. Okay, this is the finished look. What do you guys think? What do we think? What do we think? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to comment below. Let me know what you thought. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, so we can be locked in, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.